Hello, this is Naz from NB Network Lessons. Hope everyone's doing okay and safe. My today's topic of discussion is physics lesson number 4, and what we are going to discuss is distance versus displacement. What's the difference between distance and displacement in terms of physics? It's really critical that we know that to move forward further into physics lessons. So I'm going to try to make it real simple for you. You let me know if you were able to understand. So we're talking about 1D, one-dimensional motion. We're not talking about two-dimensional where you have X and Y or projectile motion. This is just one-dimensional motion. So this is basically X-axis, and you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, no rocket science. This is origin. We also call it as reference point, okay? So let me ask you this. Let's discuss distance first, okay? So let's say this is your initial point, okay? This is your initial point, your home, your school. That's where you're going to start your journey. And your final point is x of f, okay? So this could be your home, this could be your school. So I asked you, can you tell me what's the distance traveled? And it's real easy. Anybody should be able to figure out. It's x of f minus x of initial I. So what is x of f? 5 minus right here 1. So basically I can say traveled 4 meters. All right. Now let me ask you this. How would you find the displacement? Okay, if I give you the same coordinates and I ask you find the displacement. So what is displacement? Displacement is change. It's known as delta x, which is a Greek word, and delta means change when it comes to calculus, when it comes to physics. For example, you have water in a pan, okay? You put it under your stove and you turn the gas on. Let's assume the initial temperature of the water is 20 degrees centigrade. You heat it up, you come back in 3 minutes, you measure the temperature of the water and it's 100 degrees centigrade. So 100 minus 20, 80 degree, that is the delta, that is the change, okay? So that's what we're talking about when we say delta x, which is also displacement, okay? So now I ask you, what is the delta x displacement in this case? Well, delta x is going to be x of f, final point, minus x of I is equal to 4 meter. Now, question probably arising in your mind is that, what the heck? Is distance and displacement same? Because we got 4 meters for distance and the change delta x also is 4 meters. So what's the difference? Well, there is a difference. Difference is that displacement is a vector. And what is a vector? Vector is something which has magnitude and direction, okay? So when I get positive 4 meter, that means I am going from origin towards the right, okay? This is origin, so I'm going towards the right. If my delta x was minus 4, then I would say I'm going, instead of going right, I'm going toward left, okay? I'm going 4 units or 4 meters left when the delta is positive, and when the delta is negative, that means I am going in the opposite direction. So that's what displacement is. It has a magnitude as well as direction. Distance traveled has a magnitude but no direction. Displacement has both. So keep that in mind. Let's look at an example, a real good example. So let me erase that so I can get a little bit of more room over here. And let's say we have an example where we have same thing. I'm going to draw this graph real quick. Okay, we have origin, the reference point. All right, then we got 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And I got -1, -2, -3. What I ask you is that I give you the initial point, xi is equal to -2, okay? And then I give you xf, the final point, is equal to 3. So this right here is my initial point, and this right here is my final point, okay? First of all, let me ask you this. How would you find the displacement, okay? So, well, delta x is equal to xf minus xi, okay? So what is xf in this case? xf is 3, and then what is xi is -2, so it's going to be minus into -2, right? So minus cancels minus, this becomes 5, okay? So delta x is 5. What this is telling me is that I have traveled 5 units from left to right. It's telling me the direction is this right here, okay? Because if you think about it, you start from here, 1 unit, 2 unit, 3 unit, 4 unit, 5 unit. So then I can say I'm going in this direction, all right? So then I ask you, what's the distance? So distance is going to be basically just the absolute value of delta x. So absolute value of delta x, which in this case is absolute value of 5, which is equal to 5. So how's that? Okay. I'll come back and do one more example, which will have negative in there, which will make more sense. I'll come back and solve that for you. But if you like the contents, please go ahead and give me a like. Thank you so much for watching.